Good morning, Fall Focus Challenge group. It is Thursday. Couldn't even think what day it was. And I'm going to just do a real quick video this morning. Hopefully these videos have been helping you. If they have, please give me some shout outs below. I'm trying to decide if I'm going in the right direction for what you guys are looking for and need to know. Obviously, like I've said from the get-go, the core of this is the reach outs. Hopefully the tips I'm giving you is helping you with your reach out. It's helping you get more confidence when you're talking to people. For instance, yesterday we talked about the third-party validation. Now you know that you don't have to say a lot. You don't have to know all the answers. You know how to now use some of the printed material, some of the social media material that we have. So yeah, give me a little feedback, please. And otherwise, if I don't hear from you guys, I'm just going to keep talking about what I think you want to know, but I'd really like to be a bit more specific. So today I feel awesome about what we're going to talk about because I actually got a question sent to me directly. And I got a private message yesterday from one of our challenge group members. Her name is Mallory Hinkle. I've never met Mallory before in real life, but I got to talk to her yesterday a little bit on Facebook. And so Mallory asked a really good question. And I'm going to go over what she asked as well as kind of expand on my answer that I gave to her. So Mallory saw a post that I did yesterday in regards to the Breast Cancer Foundation money that we've already raised and money that we plan to raise coming up in October. If you have not seen my post, you are more than welcome to look at it in my public profile. Basically what I did, instead of sharing just the Lavelle post and just making a little comment and sharing it, because again, I feel like that looks very advertisement, very commercial-like, what I did was I created a post with my own words, and I basically just said that, cancer doesn't care if you're rich or poor, if you're young or old. It really just cares about being found, because if it's found, it can be conquered. If it's found early enough, it can be conquered, because if you do a little research on the National Breast Cancer Foundation that we at Lavelle support, their biggest item that they focus on is early detection. They actually take the funding and they put it towards testing. For example, if you go on their website right now, there's a button you can click super fast, donate $100, and that $100 will pay for a screening for a woman who can't afford it. So the stories that you read on that page are heart-wrenching. It's these women who are single moms, or they're young moms, or they're older grandma. It's just they're people who are ill and they can't afford to get the testing that they need. And so if any of you had the ability to be in Dallas back in April, the founder's son actually came and spoke, and he told the story of having a mother who had breast cancer and fought it and was a survivor. And it just really helped connect you to the cause itself. So my point here is I made the copy. I talked about what I felt was important. The beginning of my post said nothing about the company and nothing about a promotion or anything coming up. It basically just talked about the organization that we back, the organization that we're raising money for. That way, when it comes through the person's feed, it doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like an advertisement. It's my words. It's my feelings. And I'm not making these feelings up to make a post. They're truly how I feel. But I'm purposely keeping Lavelle and Thrive out of the top part because I want people to take the time to read it. Because remember, if you've been posting for 2 weeks or 2 years and it's been thrive, 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 people are starting to tune you out. And so we want to bring back the fact that you're human, bring back the fact that you do have feelings and opinions and all this stuff, and let them reconnect to you. So that sun's trying to come out again like it did yesterday. So what I finished my post with, the last paragraph of it, was basically that I'm super proud to be part of a company that's already raised $500,000 and that is aiming to raise $1 million in October. And then I put in parentheses, you can read more about it in the comments, because that's where I put the link to the Lavelle post that they could click on and actually read what Lavelle says about the campaign and what they've done so far and what they hope to do. And then I just put a little something like keep your eyes open for ways that you can help in the next coming weeks, because I'm assuming in the next coming weeks we are going to start producing and marketing either the pink DFT again, or maybe they're going to do something different. I'm assuming it's the DFT, but I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But obviously the pink movement, as they called it, is coming back in October. So something is coming. So I just wanted to throw this out to let people know that there is something coming. We have done a lot of good work, and we plan on continuing to do more. If they wanted to learn about what's been going on, they could click on the comments and move forward. Again, I did not put the link in the post because Facebook will not show that to people. They don't want you. I mean, they'll show some, but they majority wise they won't, because they don't want people leaving Facebook. So anyway, that was my post. That's how I created it. I kept the end user in mind. I kept the people who I wanted to see. I know a lot of people on my Facebook friends list who have been directly or indirectly touched by breast cancer. And so I don't want to use breast cancer as a marketing tool. Do you know, I feel like that's slimy and sleazy. So I wanted to make sure that I worded my post a particular way, how I felt about what's going on with the breast cancer, what I know to be important, which is early detection. And then I wanted to throw in that I was super proud of our company, because I am, and let people know there's something coming up. We're going to work really hard to raise more money. So where the question comes in from Mallory was, she shot me an email really quickly and said, hey, I saw your post. I really would like to do something like that. Are you okay if I copy and paste it? Which, first of all, I appreciate that someone took the time to ask me if I minded. Here's my general thing in life is no. I mean, if you're totally unaware of what to do and you're completely confused, I get it. A lot of people use copy and paste. But there's a time and a place where it's going to work, and a time and a place where it's going to hurt. So in this particular case for social media, the answer is it's going to hurt. But before we get into that, I'm going to talk to you about two places where it's not going to hurt. It's going to be a huge help. So what I like to call is copy and repeat, because I'm talking about a verbal conversation. When you are on the phone or you're face-to-face in front of someone asking you about Thrive, that is when churning up in your memory the things that you've heard at locals, the things you've heard on training videos, the things you've heard from your upline. That's when it's okay to just regurgitate that. You're going to re-speak what you have learned, and that's okay, because it's not a spammy I just duplicated this, I don't really care about it kind of thing. You're actually talking to someone, and sometimes it's hard to find the right words, especially if you're a little nervous or you're a little bit new. So if you've heard someone speak, maybe you've been the person on the other end of the three-way call who just muted their line and listened, really pay attention to the words that are being said. There's a lot of verbiage that can go along with health and wellness, and you can start to absorb it to where you just start to spit it back out. That is a point where copying and pasting or repeating is super, super helpful. Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you for loving the videos. I appreciate it. And remember, if you guys have topics you want me to cover, comment. You know, I've got some topics I know I want to cover, but I really want to help you guys. So if you have a topic, let me know. Okay, so in conversation, one-on-one or on a call or something like that, in person, copy and repeat is super helpful. You're just going to know what to say because you're just repeating things that you've heard, and that's okay. That's not a cheesy thing to do. And what about a private message or a text message or an email? I think copy and paste in that case can be very helpful, because it's not like, let's say I'm sending this message to Sally. Well, she doesn't know I also sent the same message to Judy and John and Bev. I'm just making up names. So you know what I mean? It's a private message. Now, I am a big fan of having the gut of the message be copy and paste, but the beginning be different. Hey, Jane, you know, it was so great seeing you at church last week. Hope everything went okay. Tuesday when you took Sally to dance, you know, whatever it is you talked about. Because remember, you're building relationships with people. You're not just blindly copying and pasting. These are people that you've met. These are people that maybe you've known your whole life. So I always try to open up the message with something relevant to them, relevant to our relationship, relevant to our conversation. And then, you know, while I've got your attention, there is something that came up with my company or with a promotion that whatever it is, the wording that's going to lead you into it. And then from there, it could be copy and paste. It could be, here's my promotion. And remember, you guys, we're private messaging and texting and emailing people our promotions, our discounts, whatever you want to call them. We're not just publicly throwing them out on Facebook for people to shop around. Mm-hmm. And also remember, when you throw it out on Facebook like that, it just kind of becomes noise. It just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Devalues. It devalues the product, not just monetarily, but it devalues it in people's minds. So if you are private messaging a customer or a potential customer, or even your team, like maybe you've got something you're doing for your team, but remember, again, yes, they're your team, so they probably understand you're sending it to a lot of people, but your team, especially if they're your level ones, they're your people. They are your connections. So don't just throw out, hey, Sally, here's the team promo. Hey, Sally, I saw last week you got 2 new customers. That is so fantastic. Take the time. I know it takes time. I get that it takes time. All good things in life take time. If you are just copy and pasting, especially even to your team, people don't feel special. They don't, well, because they're not being treated special. So if you want people to respond to you, you have to respond to them. So, so yeah, copy and pasting in a private message, in a text message, in an email, that is a very handy tool. It can be helpful. It can save you the time. Then you only have to come up with the beginning. And again, it's still an original appearing piece that you're sending to someone. Now, where you're going to get shot all to pieces if you start just copying and pasting is on Facebook and Instagram, especially Facebook. Instagram has it set up that you can't just share. Basically, you've got to you have to repost or you have to screenshot it, make it your own kind of thing. But Facebook wants to be basically your next TV. I mean, and I don't know how many of you have maybe gotten off of cable, or you've noticed you're not spending as much time on cable because you're on your little square box in your hands and you're watching things like Netflix and videos on Facebook and things like that. And there is actually a TV button on Facebook now. It's at the top if you guys haven't found it. Like I've said all along, it's going video based. Catch up, start making videos. But what Facebook wants is to be original. Facebook wants to be exciting. Facebook wants to be the place you go to find out something you don't already know, that they want you to be drawn in. So when they start sensing, and they can sense it, things are coded and tagged. When they start seeing a picture being shared or copied and pasted a million times, they'll stop showing it to people. If they see a post being copied and shared a million times, they'll stop showing it to people. What you normally see in the beginning, if you've ever really paid attention to your feed, not so much, I'm an Android user, so not so much on my phone, but when I'm definitely on my PC, you can actually see the whole thing. Like let's say that 12 of my friends shared the same post. Facebook will just say, these friends, and they'll list out like the first 2, and then it'll say 8 others or whatever. That's bad math. 10 others. Shared this post. It won't even show you each person's name. It won't show you. So even if all 12 people take the time to click the share button and then write a little blurb, it doesn't matter, because Facebook's like, oh, this is like the 12th time that somebody in her newsfeed shared it. So we're just going to share this one post, and it could be the one person who did do a blurb and maybe not, and we'll just let her know that 12 other people shared it. And if she wants to dig into it, she can. Well, who has time to dig into that? So what I said to Mallory was, if you like the idea of my post, then take it and make it your own. Take the bones of the post and make it your own. And then randomly, before I even had a chance to make a video about this, I saw 2 other people who did just that. They basically took my post, they kind of deconstructed it, put in their own words in the beginning, used some of my words in the middle, and kind of moved it around. One of them actually went and got a different logo to share, which makes it even more original, and the other one actually shared the same logo. So here's my thing. When I went to, as I've told you, videos or graphics are stronger as a post than just words. So when I wanted to make that post yesterday, I just went to Google, I typed in the National Breast Cancer Foundation, Frisco, Texas, and I clicked images, and all their logos or images from their website popped up. And I just chose one that I felt was graphically strong, it was bright, it was colorful, and that's the one I used. So, same thing, if you see a post that you really like and they've got a graphic, go find a different graphic. It might be similar, it might be a different size, could be a different color. But it again will make sure that Facebook won't go, oh, it's the same picture being shared. It'll say, oh, this is something totally new and original and different, and so we want to share this with people. We want people to see this post. So, I know a lot of times we get from the head, from the top of the company, share this post, share this post, share this post, share this graphic. I get that. When we have, for instance, we just had the buy 2, get 1 free. I did not post that on my personal, I didn't post it on my personal page. I private messaged that to my customers and to my potential customers, because again, that was them getting the picture themselves, them getting the wording from me, my message to them, versus it just being plastered on Facebook and getting mixed up or getting completely just pushed to the bottom because Facebook's like, nope, 300,000 people have shared this and that's just spammy. A good analogy for you to think of, I think of my poor mail carrier all the time. Okay, so he, like the last 2 days in a row, as a matter of fact, when I've gone out to the mailbox, as I've carried the mail in and I've gone through, it's been junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail. There was actually been 2 days in a row where there wasn't anything in there that mattered. There was no bills, no letters, nothing, not even a catalog that I cared about. And I always think, poor guy, because we live in town, so he has to actually carry it. He doesn't just get to pull up and keep, like, the weight of the items are actually on his body. And I just think, God, that must suck. Like, carrying that stuff around all day, knowing that you're putting it into the mailbox and it's going to just go into the recycling bin. Like, that would drive me batty. Well, it drives Facebook batty. Facebook knows when you are just out marketing and copying, pasting, and you're taking the jazzy graphic, or you're trying to make your own jazzy graphic, which, by the way, don't do that. Compliance will get you. But Facebook knows when you're just throwing out what they would consider to be junk mail. And your friends and family, your Facebook contacts know when they're just scrolling through and it's a piece of junk mail. So don't be the junk mail maker. Don't be the person who's putting out posts that's the same post that somebody else put out. Yes, I share Lavelle stories on Facebook, but I actually take the picture and I copy and paste the picture by itself into my post. This is easier to do if you're on your PC, because you can open up Facebook in 2 windows. So in my first Facebook window is the Lavelle post, and then in the other one I pull up my page, and so I just copy and paste the photo out of the Lavelle post, and I put it into my post, and then I copy the verbiage and I paste it in my post, and then I go back in and I add my own information at the beginning. And if some of the people are just like, hey, wow, let me slow down. Some people start off their stories with, hey, my name is Tammy and this is my Thrive story. Well, right away, if someone's seen you post about Thrive a million times, they're like, whoop, scroll. So what I do is I take that out and I say, her name is Tammy, she is in her 40s, and this is her story of transformation. And then I double check her first paragraph and I see, does it just say thrive, 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 thrive a bunch? Because if it does, I'm going to kind of reword it. And then below that, I'll just put her actual story. Again, I'm not sharing a post, so Facebook isn't like, oh my God. Because think about how many Thrivers there are. We're a huge group. And if we're all sharing that story, Facebook right away is like, possibly spam, possibly junk mail. Let's monitor this. So don't let it monitor it. Make it your own. Give it your own verbiage. Yes, it is the same photo. Sometimes that's hard to get around, especially with the Thrive stories, because you don't know these people. You don't have other photos to use. But it still makes it more your own versus a copy and paste situation. So I know a lot of times you'll hear from people, oh, don't waste your time coming up with stuff. Just copy, paste. You got better things to do. Well, if you're using social media to run your business, which I don't know who isn't, because that is the whole idea of the cloud-based business. You can do this from anywhere. You can do it in the nooks and crannies of your day. Take a little bit extra time. Yesterday it took me a whopping probably a minute and a half to find that logo and come up with my verbiage. Yes, that was more than 2 clicks of a share, but I got a lot more feedback on that post. I got a lot of non-Thrivers that liked or loved that post. I got a couple comments, but I think those were both Thrivers. But still, it was a comment, so it helps populate. So copy and paste can be good when you're talking to someone and it's copy repeat. It can be good when you're doing something in a private message and it's more of you're special, I'm PMing you this information, and they don't necessarily know you've sent it to 20 other people. But if you're copying and pasting on social media, your posts are getting less interaction, they're getting less exposure. And if you're just going to take 2 seconds to copy and paste versus take a minute to make your own, sometimes you might as well not even copy and paste, because it's not going to be seen anyway. It's just going to get thrown in the mix. So keep in mind junk mail. Keep in mind how much you can't stand junk mail. Keep in mind how when you're watching TV and a commercial comes on, that's when you go into the kitchen to get a drink, or that's when you go in the restroom. That's when you leave the area and come back for something good. It's the same thing on your little phone, you guys. It's the same thing on your PC. When people are on social media, if they sense advertising, it's just a born instinct that, this isn't something I need or want or have time for. I'm here to be entertained. I'm here to learn. So dive into your post with that mindset, and we'll go from there. So, Mallory, thank you so much for sending me the questions so that we get this conversation started. You guys, I peeked in on Mallory's homepage after we were talking, and she's done a fabulous job. I could not tell in the first 10 to 20 seconds what she did for a living. I just saw something about she really helped work with people. And so I of course scrolled through, and I saw some different things she's interested in, and I got a feel for her. So you know what I'm saying? I did just go, oh, she's another one of those Thrive girls. I didn't have that moment. I was like, oh, what is this? What does Mallory do? Does Mallory have children? Does Mallory work? What's going on? So take these tips. I'm telling you, they make a difference. You don't want to just be, oh, another Thrive person. You don't want to be the loud Thrive girl, you know, whatever. You got to remember, as amazing and awesome as you might be, it only takes one bad apple on your friends list to make people think that the Thrive lady is nuts, or that the Thrive lady is too loud, or the Thrive lady is obnoxious in their face, or pushy. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be you, and you want people to be like, God, I really like her. I really like him. I really like what they're doing. What are they doing? So remember, no junk mail. Keep it curious. Have a fantastic flippin' Thursday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.